Welcome to the REALL Academy, brought to you each Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time by the
Systems Doctors,
Dr. Sheka Houston and Dr. Tammy Taylor, best-selling authors, consultants, and speakers of Create and Educate LLC. Create and Educate LLC is an educational consultant and literary firm that provides professional development to schools and community. Their goal is to transform organizations with the REALL Resilient framework used to increase their school report card grades 2 and 3 grade levels in 1 year. REALL stands for Respect, Excellence, Accountability, Literacy, and Leadership. This framework is used to coach leaders and teachers and build student efficacy while putting systems in place that aligns the work of the school improvement, making the process manageable. When the work is manageable, teachers and leaders don't stress out or burn out.
the Systems Doctors
Alignment systems are designed to help schools evolve and grow, all while instituting protocols and processes designed to promote collaboration and collegiality. The implementation of the alignment framework prevents some of the most common problems in education, where leaders sometimes aren't sure where to start, or in our new age of educating, leaders need a trusted sounding board that allows them to be vulnerable and transparent, preventing loneliness at the top. The framework doesn't just help leaders, but also prevents teachers from burning out from too many initiatives and embracing teachers as they are the experts. Finally, the framework extends to the children, helping them get engaged in school and solving a nationwide problem. Alignment systems are frequently referred to as a key element of success in the improvement process. In the sport of rowing, all rowers must put their oars in the water, succinctly creating a system for their boat to reach maximum speed. So schools that want to improve are bringing in
the Systems Doctors
to teach them all about the alignment systems that must be in place for school improvement to be accomplished at high levels. The dynamic duo provides insights into educational topics through their international platform, which includes educators, parents, and community members as a way to support important entities that make communities thrive. This is their way to pay it forward and provide the support they needed through their platform. Take a look. People who work with the
Systems Doctors
describe them as an excellent and inspiring group of leaders. They get into the weeds of work with leaders through their TrustMate Institute that you should contact them about today by filling out the contact form on their website.
It's Super Saturday, everyone. Welcome to episode 194 of the REALL Academy, brought to you by Create and Educate with your very own Systems Doctors, HERS. I'm Dr. Sheka Houston.
Good morning, and I'm Dr. Tammy Taylor. Hey, everybody. Good morning, Sheka.
Hey, Tammy. So if this is your first time tuning in, we create and educate so that you can thrive.
Yes, we do. And we are super excited because when we work with schools, we actually are teaching them from our own lived experiences of raising our school report card levels 2 and 3 levels in just a single year at both the elementary school where I worked and at Sheka's middle school. And we used our own framework that's rooted in research-based principles that we know work.
Most definitely. And with our turnaround work that we always start off with staff members and audiences that we speak to, centering our message around belief. Because if you don't believe that children that you serve can do great things, you will not hold them to high expectations. A lot of what Principal Hurt was talking about this morning, when you hear those teachers gossiping in the teachers' lounges, or not just teachers, staff members, because leaders do it as well, if they're gossiping negatively about the children, then they don't believe in what they can do. So this is a part of our It's Being Done series. Teachers and students need to know that they can do hard things, and not only can they do hard things, but hard things are being done and have been done. So we'll talk about that a little bit more today for our topic. So please like, share, subscribe, send the stars, do all of the things that the platforms do so you can help us out with these algorithms, please, and thank you.
Yes, and we definitely agree that Principal Hurt was spot on this morning. You have to have the right people in the right places. If you don't get your aces in their places, then struggle is sure to come. So,
Mhm.
well done, Principal Hurt, as always. Each episode that we share with you on Saturday mornings is a part of our live stream network, our Fantastic Four. And of course, it kicks off at 10 a.m. on Saturday mornings with Principal Sean Hurt. And then yours truly, Create and Educate in the Real Academy, follows at 10:30. And then at 10:55, it's the leader's mentor, the GOAT, and all things leadership with the AP and New Principals Academy with Principal Kafele. And then on Sunday, we close with the PGP podcast with Dr. Moreno and Principal Josh Tovar.
Most definitely. And this is Mother's Day weekend. So shout out to all of our moms and all of our mother
Yes.
figures, because we know that you do not have to be a biological mother to be a mother to some. And we have several who are in that space. If your mom is not with you anymore, you are definitely in our thoughts and prayers, because we know that this time of year can definitely be hard on people as well. So, um, if you've been with us before, you know that this is our REAL fam shout out time, and REAL stands for respect, excellence, accountability, literacy, and leadership. It is the framework through which we do all of our work. So Tammy's going to put your comments up as I shout you out. Shout out to AP Patrick Lawrence from Connecticut. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for the happy Mother's Day wish. Shout out to Professor Laws. Good morning to you from Greenville, North Carolina. Queen Jasmine Harris out on the West Coast from California. Miss Constance Sherrod, she is in Mississippi. Doing her MTSS thing. We appreciate you. Stacy L. Joy, happy Mother's Day to you, Queen. She is joining us as well from the West Coast. September Devance Vance Daniels, good morning to you. We appreciate you. Mr. David Bell, Grand Rising from Benton Harbor, Michigan, and thank you for the happy Mother's Day wish. Miss Dot McKeever Jeter, we always appreciate her. Thank you for joining us. Jeanne Alessandra, we appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. Melissa Jones Chunu out in Oklahoma, thank you for joining us. Our brother and the GOAT in the work as well, Principal Sean Hurt from Detroit. And we know that your baby's going to be beautiful at prom. Thank you for joining us. Kenna Rollin, thank you for joining us. Principal Josh Tovar. He's in El Paso today. Thank you for joining us, Josh, our other brother in the work. Trina Fletcher, thank you for joining us. Crystal Worley Wallace, oh, North Myrtle Beach. So you're in the Carolinas with us. And the GOAT as well, Principal Kafele, thank you for joining us. And let me make sure. Doc Blackwell, Tim,
Hey,
and
Tim.
Martez Gerard Favis, Alicia Scott. Let me make sure I got everybody. I think I did. If I missed it, please charge it to my head and not to my heart. Thank you all for joining us. We don't take it lightly. We know that you could be doing multiple other things, but you are intentional about being here with us on Saturday. So we appreciate you.
Yes, and today, if you hear us say something that resonates with you, real family, or if you know that what we are saying sounds good, as our brother Hurt says, you can drop a reel in the comments for us.
Most definitely. So that brings us to episode 194 of the Real Academy, Belief and the Two-Way Mirror. So I know some of you are probably wondering, well, what are they talking about? Belief and the two-way mirror. So one of the things that we discovered in our turnaround work, and specifically at my school, because our turnaround stories and when we did those root cause analysis as to why we were in the shape that we were in are a little bit different. What I noticed was that some of my staff members, just as Principal Hurt talked about this morning, didn't believe in our students. They thought it was impossible to motivate them. They thought that, they couldn't do anything, that was impossible for them to get caught up because they were 2 and 3 grade levels behind. They definitely didn't believe that we were going to improve 2 grade levels on our report card in 1 year. So with that in mind, I had to have a very systematic approach to the turnaround work. And that's why we start everything in our formula with the messaging, because it was my job as the principal to, number one, be aware of this, and then number two, I had to make sure that I was building everyone up to believe that it was possible. And so this is just a review of our formula, showing you that everything starts when we're talking about the what with that messaging. Did you want to
And
add
we
anything
want to,
to
yeah,
that,
make
Tammy?
sure that you are thinking, because even though, like Sheka said, our stories are vastly different, similar, but different at the same time. The belief has to also be in you. And I had shared the comment that Sherrod mentioned with, he called it the mirror ministry. There's
Mm,
a very powerful idea in the fact that that mirror can be a source of ministry for you. We hear Principal Kafele telling us all the time to take that mirror, because that's really where your work starts with you. You reflect on and look at yourself, to be honest. And when you do that, you start with believing that this is even possible, because that's where I had to start. I
mm.
had to believe that I'm the 60th school of 60 schools in CSI. I had to believe that we could move from that space. Because if I didn't believe, guess what? The belief in what the children could do would have been irrelevant, because we would have been in a place of stagnation just because I personally didn't believe. So that belief, as Sheka said, is a very powerful piece. It's a tool that is used to move us along the way when you're talking about school improvement.
Most definitely. And you know that our formula goes along with our framework that you see at the bottom, and that framework leads to our 3 systems of respect, excellence, and accountability. But it starts with that belief. And today we're going to be going into more detail about how powerful belief is to the brain. There's a lot of research around this, brain research about belief. And we want to emphasize this because we want people to understand that if you don't do this work first, if you just go in and start trying to look at data and you start trying to look at the numbers and tell people what they need to do, you're doing all of that a lot of times for no reason, because if the belief is not there, there is no why behind the work. So when we are talking about the power of belief, this image that you're seeing right now, when there are amputees, and I know if you've tuned in before, you've heard that my background is also in psychology. So brain research is something that I love. But when they've looked at research with amputee patients, they use mirror therapy because mirror therapy has helped trick the brain into thinking that even though something has been removed from the body, the mirror showing your brain that it's there helps to relieve the pain of the patient, because when the brain believes that that other hand is still there, the pain subsides. So this is one example about how powerful that belief ministry is that Principal Laws talked about. Tammy's
Yes,
going to give
and
us our next example.
yeah, another example of how the brain can actually convince you of things that aren't necessarily true in the real sense of things is the placebo effect. And all of us have heard of patients who have been given sugar pills or saline injections during experiments to see if those folks could really experience some real healing effects from it, and they do, because in their minds they believe that they're receiving medication. And what research has said about the placebo treatments, they've shown to reduce pain, they've shown to eliminate depression, sometimes anxiety, and they've even been able to have an impact on Parkinson's symptoms. So you can convince your brain that things are different than they are. And I love the example of the therapy that they use with amputees, because sometimes you'll see where those people along the process of healing heal more quickly because they've seen and had the opportunity to participate in those types of therapy that help them to deal with what's happening also in their mind. So remembering that the placebo effect is also a very important part of what we believe.
Most definitely. And Principal Laws, prayers to your wife. I saw that you put that she is getting ready to go through that process. And we know that on the other side of that, a functional life is possible in our sister,
Yes,
Miss Valentine, who is a quadruple amputee and a
yeah,
speaker and just so inspirational. So we will definitely be in prayer for her.
for sure. And please do reach out to Marlena, because she is a powerful testimony that
She
I'm
is.
sure could be encouraging.
Most definitely. The next example, this picture is a picture of my grandparents. They are both deceased, but Mr. Lewis Hall and Miss Janie Hall were married for over 50 years. And when my grandmother got sick, the example that I'm using for them is the broken heart syndrome. There is brain research that suggests that emotional trauma can be so profound that it triggers something in the brain when you experience loss. So we lost my grandmother in July, and my grandfather was completely well. There was nothing wrong with him physically. And when my grandmother passed away, we definitely think that he had broken heart syndrome, which is what this next example is, because 6 months later, he was so brokenhearted and just had in his mind, he kept saying, I just thought that I would be the one who would go first. And 6 months later, he passed away. Not sick, nothing was wrong with him. But his will to live, he had lost it after we lost my grandmother. So your brain and that belief power is so powerful, it can even transition your mind into your state of mind into even living or not.
Definitely. And I've seen that too, Shika. It's sad to watch. I can say that.
It was
Sad
very
to watch
sad.
someone whose heart is broken. The next thing that we're going to talk about is the idea of parent safety. And you see the image on the screen, and this is again something that I think of as being very, very telling, and it makes a statement without saying um, nothing has to be said, because this demonstrates that children will cling to their parents for safety, believing that they can keep them safe from harm. And that belief is so strong that a child will follow a parent absolutely anywhere. And you'll see here that in the clutches of death, this baby monkey is holding on fiercely to his mother. And that just again allows us to know the power that a mother's love, and this is so fitting for this morning, but a mother's love, and not just a mother, but a father, a parent's protective nature for their children should make them feel so safe.
Mhm.
And they should believe that they can be safe in the arms of their parents. And like I said, to the point that they follow them even into the mouth of the lion in a
Mhm.
situation. Now, this isn't a lion, and we know that, but in the direst of situations, children will cling to their parents because they believe in with everything that they have that they will be kept safe, because that's the love and protection that we provide for them.
Most definitely. And we're going to bring this on home. So thank y'all for letting us cook a little bit this morning. If we've said anything that has resonated, or any of these images or examples have resonated with you, drop a reel in the comments. This is bringing it back to the student. When students believe, when teachers and leadership believes in what their students can do, no matter what the rating is, no matter what the zip code is, no matter where they're from, what anybody has said about them, children will be able to perform. And this example is a student who was on a non-certificate, a non-diploma track throughout the high school career, was not allowed to be in a certain program that he wanted to be in. His advocate advocated for him to get in that program, and that teacher, who also became his advocate, found that he was the top student in the class. When that student experienced that success, something changed in him. And when it did, he realized that in order to get a job in this field, he needed a diploma, and not having that diploma was going to hinder his success. And what happened was, a program was found outside of the school that he could complete to get his diploma. And once he finished that first class and got a passing grade, and the course was accessible because it was audio. They were given 3 times to complete assessments, but that just 1 ounce of success gave him the confidence to say, I can do this. And you may not be able to see this because it's small, but he sent a text to his mom letting her know that he finished, because he now, this letter is saying that he is a graduate. So a student, non-diploma track, in a program receiving assistance, saying that he couldn't do something, somebody believed in him, he believed in himself, and turned that whole story upside down. So when we talk about the power of belief, there is true power behind what you believe about what you can do. And when we say belief in the two-way mirror, the reason that it's two-way is because the child does have to see it in themselves. And this is something that I had to constantly do through my town hall meetings, because at that time, I didn't have a lot of staff members who believed in students. So they had to constantly hear my voice repeating that over and over again. There is greatness in every one of you here. You're going to do great things. I believe in you. And that two-way mirror, if you see the light illuminating from behind it, when they do it, then you show the world exactly what happens when people believe in themselves and when you believe in them. So when we talk about that message this morning, the belief and the two-way mirror, this is an illustration of exactly what we mean by that. Did you want to add anything, Tammy, before I go to the next one?
No, it's just that speaks to itself for me. And as we've said this morning, y'all, that's what this morning is about. We believe, and we believe in what we're doing, and that's why we do it, because it helps to get that belief down to each child.
Most definitely. And this is just another example of, I was speaking at the AVID conference last summer, and this was in Austin, Texas. And when you tell the world about your story, and that's why I put the world there, from hearing what students were able to do in Chester, somebody from the audience came to visit with me and said, when I heard that, I was like, that's how they doing it in Chester. I had to come spend a day with you. And so he came to spend the day with me to see how we did things, how school turnaround processes work, but he learned a lot. So telling the story to the world is something that needs to be done, because other people need to hear that these things are being done. And this is Tammy's congratulations. Y'all put her some love in the chat. She also, with her story being out to the world, is being recognized by AVID as the AVID Global Achievement Award. She is a finalist among 4 people to receive the Elementary Principal of the Year. So when we say belief and telling the world in that two-way mirror, it really does matter. So congratulations, Tammy.
Thank you, Sheka. Thank y'all very much.
And we have 1 more minute, so that's why I'm rushing through. This, again, all of this is a part of our It's Being Done series. When we went from the 17th to the 90th percentile in reading at my school, and Tammy's school from the 7th to the 97th percentile in reading at her school, and that growth in 1 year, belief was a very big part of that. Belief was a very big part of the 90-90 studies, where 90% of the population is impoverished, Black, but proficient. And so
Mm.
the It's Being Done, those stories have to be told, because people have to understand that it can happen. And lastly, if you are in the Chester area, May 17th through the 18th, please register for the first annual Breakthrough Conference that is transforming and empowering families. So thank you all so much for joining us, because we are out of time now. And we hope that this resonated with you. If this is something that you feel like your staff needs to hear, please fill out the contact form on our website and join us on Principal Kafele's page next. He has some phenomenal guests, and also on Sunday for PGP Podcast.
Yes, and thank y'all so much. Thank you guys for all the love and congratulations. And happy Mother's Day to everybody, all the biological mother figures, whatever you are, for all the wives, sisters, moms, everybody. Happy Mother's Day.
Most definitely. Thank you all. I was
Thank
trying
you,
to
Miss
get
Beverly. Happy Mother's
the
Day.
banner down before I end it. Thank you.